Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome back to another edition of the Monday Recap. And I'm joined, as ever, by good old Liam as we talk about the 2-2 draw against Cambridge. We look ahead to Portsmouth on Tuesday night, under lights at Fratton Park, and also talk about the FA Cup draw. We didn't get a League One team. It wasn't Portsmouth in the FA Cup. It wasn't Lincoln City. It wasn't Gillingham. It was Oldham of League Two. We're hoping for Sudbury away or at home. But they got Colchester. But we'll get into that later. But Liam, you spoke to me on game day on Saturday. We had a great weekend at my dad's in Cambridge. The result probably wasn't what we wanted. We were 2-0 up, but it dropped down to 2-2. Your thoughts and your verdict on that draw at the Abbey Stadium?
Completely, having had time to think about it, I've got absolutely nothing else to say. It was exactly what I said on game day on Saturday. It was the easiest 3 points we would have got all season. And that's without me being at some of the other games earlier in the season away from home. And I've been to all the home games so far. That was the game where I thought we were most in control of throughout pretty much the entire game. I mean, even in the second half where we didn't create a lot, we controlled it. And if we just had that tiny little bit of extra desire, just that willingness to kill teams off, then I think we would have gone on to win that fairly comfortably. But it was really disappointing to lose from that situation. That's what frustrates me most. In other games we've had this season, we've had moments where we've been on top, and then moments where we have looked a bit shaky, and teams have taken advantage of that. But I thought that was as close to almost a complete performance as we could have got so far this season. We just kept them so far at arm's length, and I still think it's a foul on Burgess for that first goal, but we got cut open so easy. And then second half, we still controlled the game. I know Cambridge had a couple of chances in the second half compared to the first half, but we still dominated the possession. We still looked in control, but we just didn't have that desire, that cutting edge at the end to go and kill it off. And you're always going to leave yourself to chance if you don't do that. And Cambridge will have looked at the last 10 minutes and gone, well, we've got nothing to lose now. Let's really go for it and see if we can force an equaliser, which is exactly what they've done. So it's really, really frustrating, and a draw that should never have happened. We should have been celebrating a very comfortable victory there. And in the wider scheme of things, it just makes things that tiny bit harder again.
It does, and it looked like it was a great away day, minus a result, but it is always in a terrace, always going to be good. Of course, tomorrow, Tuesday night, down to Pompey at Fratton Park under lights. They're another weird team who are getting results here and there. They've had 2 games which have included 4 goals, a 4-1 defeat against Rotherham on the weekend, and then they beat Sunderland 4-0 at their place last time they played at Fratton Park. So very mixed bag results for Portsmouth. What are you thinking for this one? Will Paul Cook make some changes, do you reckon? And can Town get back to winning ways?
It's a really difficult one. I'm looking forward to this. I'll be going to it. I think all the spice in the summer has kind of added to this game, but now that we're meeting each other for the first time this season, you actually look and both teams are kind of in the same boat. Both teams would expect to be higher. Both teams probably would expect to have had a better start to the season. And inevitably, both teams are not where they expected or really should be. So that kind of throws an extra bit of intrigue into it. It's not like Portsmouth can look onto us and wave from upstairs and kind of be kind of gloating after all the all the kind of rigmarole that went on during the summer with a lot of salty Portsmouth fans who clearly, for some reason, having gone through the same situation themselves and won the FA Cup off the back of it and been a perennial Premier League team for a while, can't accept that we've actually got some money to spend this time and be able to buy players. So that will add to it. And Fratton Park's a pretty atmospheric place anyway. So under the lights, I can't wait. As for how it's going to go, I'll be honest with you, I don't have a clue. I really, my showing in our little prediction league shows that I've got nothing right pretty much this season. I think I've only got 2 correct results, and I've got nowhere near to predicting a correct score. Apart from Saturday, may I add, I was 2 minutes away from getting a correct score in that, which is another frustration. But you just can't tell with this team. That's the point at the moment. It really is. It's pretty much what everyone has said. We look like we'll score goals, and we are entertaining, which is a complete turnaround from the teams of the last decade, really, apart from a few isolated seasons. The football is far better, but then defensively, we've just been so poor, and that was another thing that annoyed me on Saturday. But we've got those defenders now. We've got those big physical defenders, and yet they're getting out muscled in it. Just that desire to want it more. And Portsmouth have got quality. Let's be honest, they've got quality, and they will be a tough game, especially away from home. I don't know where to call it, really. But I'm going to be. I am going to be positive, as I always am. I think I said this to you at the weekend as well. I think we'll win this. I think off the back of what happened on Saturday, I think we'll win this. This is a game that I think we'll actually go along and win, just because I don't think they're particularly in great form. So I think it kind of sets itself up that if we can play the way we did against Cambridge, I think we could beat Portsmouth. So I'm not going to go for a clean sheet, because that seems to be a fool's errand at the moment, trying to say that we're going to get a clean sheet. But I'm going to stick with what I said on Saturday, and I think we'll win it 2-1. I think we'll concede, but I think we'll have enough to win it. But by Jove, we actually need to win it. That's the other side now. Not just the kind of the quality to win it. We actually have to win it if we're going to really start mounting some pressure on the teams above us.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. It's going to be an interesting game on Tuesday night at Fratton Park. Look out for all the stuff we'll do. Before we end the Monday recap, let's talk about the FA Cup draw on Sunday. We watched it, and we're on us, just hoping we weren't going to get a League One club. We weren't going to get a terrible long trip draw like Exeter City or something. But thankfully, we're at home. Oldham, not the most eye-watering or mouth-watering tie, but it's at home. It's Oldham. A winnable tie. Paul Cook's coming out and saying that he wants Norwich in the third round. But I don't know if Paul Cook knows this. The draw is never in our favour. We never get those sort of draws. We always get the rubbish ones. But what was your thoughts when we got Oldham in the draw? And do you think it is winnable? And it would be nice to get a cup run, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think I've said to you off air as well. I think Paul Cook, looking at his history, I think he does actually respect the FA Cup. And yes, it isn't our priority. And Ipswich aren't going to win the FA Cup. We're not going to go along and be at Wembley in May. So from that point of view, you kind of look and go, well, what's the point in these smaller sides playing in a cup competition when it's never going to happen? The gap has just grown so much now to the big clubs. But a cup run, the magic of the cup can bring a chance of getting momentum in the league, and it's all about winning games. And I've never really subscribed to this whole cups get in the way kind of thing. I think if you take them seriously and you try and go on a decent run in them, they can help create momentum in the league as well. But there are some competitions like Papa John's that I understand most of the big teams. It's not a priority. It's an extra competition that probably nobody needs. And the under-21 sides are in there now, which kind of devalues it even more. So I can understand why they play weekend squads in that. But the FA Cup is the FA Cup. It's the history, isn't it? It's such, and it's the 150th season of it. It's special. And I think Paul Cook does respect the competition. You only have to see what he did at Wigan when they knocked out Man City a couple of years ago and got through, I think, to the 5th round. I think they got that far when they were a championship club. Or League One, I think it was. I think they were actually in League One when Cook was in charge when they beat City that year. So who knows what happens? And for us as fans, to have Norwich as a Premier League club in the 3rd round would be fantastic. To have any Premier League club in the 3rd round would be fantastic. But the problem for Ipswich is it's getting to that round since they've been in League One. And if you're not going to get a nice non-league away tie, which for all of us would have been a great day out, and the fans would have loved that, I'm sure, then you're always going to hope for a home draw. You don't want to, as you say, have some really ridiculous long trips. So really, Oldham is probably a perfect draw for us. And I know some fans are a bit sceptical that it's a winnable tie, but we've said that about many other ties in the past, and it hasn't exactly gone to plan. But I just look at the Gillingham game in the Papa John's, where he obviously played a second string team there. But that second string team, you look at it, majority of them probably could grace the first team in League One. And they comfortably put Gillingham aside in that game. I think the squad is now strong enough that you can make changes, but still have a pretty strong side. And I can imagine he will make changes. I don't think he'll go full strength. But I think with the depth now and the quality in that squad, I think it's very winnable. I think Oldham are in trouble at the moment down near the bottom of League Two and have had a lot of off-field problems as well. So I think it's a perfect tie to get out of round one, see who we get in round two, and hopefully we'll be talking about a decent tie in round three. But it's not inspiring at all. But at the end of the day, all you want is to get through. So if it's uninspiring, it doesn't matter as long as they do the business and get the result that they should get. So hopefully roll on round two in December.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we don't get a replay. I don't know. I wouldn't mind going to Oldham, but anyway, I'll stop talking about that. But
not on the Tuesday night, mate. Not on the Tuesday night.
No,
you wouldn't want to go for a replay up there on the Tuesday.
No, definitely not. I've just jinxed it now. I'm sorry, buddy. But that course game will likely be played on November the 6th on the Saturday. So look forward to that whenever you can. But that's it for the Monday recap. Thank you very much, Liam, for joining me as ever. Get involved in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on the draw against Cambridge, the game against Portsmouth, and of course the FA Cup draw. Thankfully, we didn't get Lincoln, we didn't get Portsmouth, we didn't get an away trip to Exeter. Unfortunately, we didn't get Sudbury, but they've got Colchester, and maybe they beat Colchester, and then we can play them in the round two. Wait and see on that. But we're back for more content on the YouTube channel and everything else. So look out for that, and we'll see you next week on the Monday recap. See you then. Bye-bye for now.